Good morning. This is Radio Kairan 96.4 MHz, and you are listening to SEE Preparation Classes. I am Nirmal Tripathi with a lesson on English grammar. Today, we will continue our class with the past tense. Yesterday, we studied about the simple past tense, and our today's lesson is on the past continuous tense. Then we will move to the past perfect and the past perfect continuous tense. Let's start with the structure used in the past continuous tense. Past continuous tense uses was or were as auxiliary verbs and the present participle form of the verb or verb plus ing form of verb. Was, were plus verb ing or verb 4. यसमा हामीले पास्ट कन्टिन्युअस टेन्समा सब्जेक्टसँग मिल्दो गरी वाज अथवा वेयर एक्जिलरी भर्बको प्रयोग गर्छौं र भर्बसँग आइएनजी को प्रयोग हुन्छ. फर एक्जाम्पल, I was going home. I was going home. The birds were flying. The birds were flying. She was sleeping in her room. She was sleeping in her room. The teachers were talking loudly. The teachers were talking loudly. The young boy was lying unconscious. The young boy was lying unconscious. So we have used was or were. With I, he, she, it or other singular subject we use was. And with we, you, they and other plural subject we use were. Singular एक वचन एउटा मात्र सब्जेक्ट भएको अवस्थामा एक जना मात्रमा was र धेरै प्लुरल बहुवचन सब्जेक्ट भएको अवस्थामा were को प्रयोग गरिन्छ. And what about negative? So when there is auxiliary verb, you can guess we use not with the auxiliary verb to make negative. Auxiliary verb भएको अवस्थामा negative बनाउन auxiliary verb सँग not थप्दा हुन्छ. So in the past continuous tense, we use was not or were not to make negative. For example, I was going home. Negative. I was not going home. I was not going home. The birds were flying. The birds were not flying. The birds were not flying. She was sleeping in her room. Negative. She was not sleeping in her room. She was not sleeping in her room. The teachers were talking loudly. The teachers were not talking loudly. The teachers were not talking loudly. And now let's move to yes no question. So yes no question in the past continuous tense start with was or were plus subject. सब्जेक्ट भन्दा पछाडी एक्जिलरी भर्ब आउँछ स्टेटमेन्टमा भने क्वेशनमा सब्जेक्ट भन्दा पहिले एक्जिलरी भर्बको प्रयोग गरिन्छ. सब्जेक्टमा जस्तो पोजिटिभ सेन्टेन्समा द बर्ड्स वेर फ्लाइङ, द बर्ड्स सब्जेक्ट वेर एक्जिलरी भर्ब हो. यसलाई क्वेशन बनाउँदाखेरि द बर्ड्स भन्दा पहिले वेर आउँछ. वेर द बर्ड्स फ्लाइङ. आई वाज गोइङ होम. Were you going home? Was I going home? The birds were flying. Were the birds flying? Were the birds flying? She was sleeping in her room. Was she sleeping in her room? Was she sleeping in her room? The teachers were talking loudly. Were the teachers talking loudly? Were the teachers talking loudly? The young boy was lying unconscious. Was the young boy lying unconscious? Was the young boy lying unconscious? So these are the examples of yes/no question in the past continuous tense. And what about short answers to the yes/no question? yes/no question को एन्सर yes अथवा no मा हुन्छ। तर त्यसलाई सर्ट एन्सरमा जवाफ दिनु पर्यो भने हामी कसरी दिन्छौँ त? जस्तो were you going home? Yes, I was. Or no, I was not. Yes, I was. No, I was not. Was I going home? Yes, you were. No, you were not. Yes, you were. No, you were not. The birds were flying. Were the birds flying? Yes, they were. No, they were not. With she, yes, she was. No, she was not. Yes, they were. No, they were not. Yes, he was. No, he was not. These are the examples of short answer to the yes/no questions. And now, WH question. So, as you know, WH words are needed before the auxiliary verb. For example, where were you going? I was going home. So WH question with where. Where were you going? The girl was dancing. Question. What was the girl doing? What was the girl doing? Why question. Why was the girl dancing? Where question. Where was the girl dancing? The young boy was lying unconscious. Who was lying unconscious? Who was lying unconscious? Etc. These are the examples of WH question in the past continuous tense. Now, can you practice the structures? So I'll give you clues. Okay, make positive sentence, then you can make negative yes/no question and WH question. Okay, number 1. She learned English. Make a sentence in the past continuous tense. She learned English. Yes, she was learning English. She was learning English. Negative. She was not learning English. She was not learning English. Yes, no question. Was she learning English? Was she learning English? Yes, no question. So WH question. What was she learning? What was she learning? Okay, number 2. My parents live in America. My parents live in America. Okay, make sentence in the past continuous tense. Yes, my parents were living in America. My parents were living in America. Yes, no question. Were my parents living in America? Were my parents living in America? WS question. Where were your parents living? Where were your parents living? Or you can say, where were my parents living? Okay, next, number 3. Deepson watch cartoons. Deepson watch cartoons. Yes? Deepson was watching cartoons. Deepson was watching cartoons. Negative? Yes. Deepson was not watching cartoons. Deepson was not watching cartoons. Yes, no question. Was Deepson watching cartoons? Was Deepson watching cartoons? WH question with what? What was Deepson watching? What was Deepson watching? Okay, number 4. We sleep. We sleep. Make sentence. Yes. We were sleeping. We were sleeping. Negative. We were not sleeping. We were not sleeping. Yes, no question. Were we sleeping? Were we sleeping? Okay, WH question. What were you doing? What were you doing? Okay, let's see another example. Number 4. The animals run away. The animals run away. Okay. Yes. The animals were running away. The animals were running away. Negative. The animals were not running away. The animals were not running away. Yes, no question. Were the animals running away? Were the animals running away? Okay, WH question with why? Why were the animals running away? Why were the animals running away? Yes. So you have practiced the structure. Now let's go to the use. We use the past continuous tense for an action over a period of time in the past. Past time मा बितेको समयमा जुन समयको हामी गफ गरिरहेका छौं बितेको समयको त्यो समयमा कुनै काम भइरहेको थियो जस्तो हामी आज बिहान 7 बजेको गफ गरिरहेका छौं बिहान 7 बजे त्यति बेला के भइरहेको थियो त्यति बेला कुनै काम जारी थियो कुनै काम सुरु भइसकेको थियो अन्त्य भएको थिएन अर्थात त्यो काम चालू थियो भने त्यस्तो अवस्थाको कुरा गर्न हामी पास्ट कन्टिन्युअस टेन्स को प्रयोग गर्छौं जस्तो I was listening to the news I was listening to the news म समाचार सुन्दै थिएँ अर्थात त्यति बेला तपाईले जुन बेलाको कुरा गर्नुभयो बिहान 7 बजे त्यति बेला त म समाचार सुन्दै थिएँ समाचार सुन्ने काम सुरु भइसकेको थियो तर त्यो सकिएको थिएन त्यसरी बितेको समयको कुनै एउटा पोइन्टमा कुन काम जारी थियो भन्ने कुरा बताउनको लागि पास्ट कन्टिन्युअस टेन्सको प्रयोग गरिन्छ। र अर्को त्यो सँगसँगै त्यसैलाई हामी ब्याकग्राउन्ड इन्फर्मेसन भनेर पनि बुझ्न सक्छौँ। कुनै एउटा घटना घटेको समयमा अर्को के भइराखेको थियो त, केही भयो जस्तो she arrived, when she arrived I was sleeping। ऊ जति बेला आइपुगिन् म त सुतिरहेको थिएँ त्यति बेला। ऊ आउने काम त्यो बेलामा भयो, त्यो एउटा पोइन्ट भयो, त्यो सिम्पल पास्ट टेन्समा बताइन्छ भने त्यति बेला चाहिँ अर्को काम के भइराखेको थियो त्यो चाहिँ ब्याकग्राउन्डमा भएको काम चाहिँ पास्ट कन्टिन्युअस टेन्समा बताइन्छ। when she arrived I was sleeping। So now I will give you some sentences with the situations to use the past continuous tense. You have to complete the sentences using the past continuous form of the given verb। म सेन्टेन्स भन्छु, भर्ब पनि दिन्छु, त्यो भर्बलाई पास्ट कन्टिन्युअस टेन्समा प्रयोग गरेर सेन्टेन्सलाई कम्प्लिट गर्नुपर्ने छ। Okay, are you ready? Let's go to the exercise then. Okay, number 1. I ... in a cafe when you called. I ... in a cafe when you called. The verb is sit, sit. I ... sit in a cafe when you called. So can you fill the gap with the correct form of the verb? Yes. I was sitting in a cafe when you called. I was sitting in a cafe when you called. Okay, now I'll read out the sentences and you have to fill in the blanks using the correct form of the verb. Number 2. He was hurt while we ... badminton. The verb is play, play. He was hurt while we ... badminton. Play. Number 3. She ... a shower when the phone rang. She ... a shower when the phone rang. The verb is take, take. Number 4. When I walked into the room, everyone ... When I walked into the room, everyone ... The verb is work, work. And number 5. My friends ... at that time. My friends ... at that time. The verb is dance, dance. Well, did you complete the sentences? Well done. Now check the answers. Number 1. I was sitting in a cafe when you called. Number 2. He was hurt while we were playing badminton. He was hurt while we were playing badminton. Number 3. She was taking a shower when the phone rang. She was taking a shower when the phone rang. Number 4. When I walked into the room, everyone was working. Everyone was working. And number 5. My friends were dancing at that time. My friends were dancing at that time. Thank you very much. And now it's turn for another aspect of the past tense, the past perfect tense. विद्यार्थी भाइ बहिनीहरू, हामीले the simple past, past continuous को बारेमा छलफल गरिसक्यौं। अब हामी द पास्ट पर्फेक्ट टेन्स को युज र स्ट्रक्चर को बारेमा हेर्नेछौं। द पास्ट पर्फेक्ट टेन्स मेक्स यूज प्लस had and the past participle form of the verb in its structure. सबभन्दा पहिले हामी पास्ट पर्फेक्ट टेन्स को स्ट्रक्चर को गफ गर्छौं। पास्ट पर्फेक्ट टेन्स मा had एक्जुलरी भर्ब को रूपमा had को प्रयोग हुन्छ भने भर्ब को पास्ट पार्टिसिपल फर्म जसलाई हामी सामान्य बोलचालमा भर्ब 3 भनेर चिन्छौं त्यसको प्रयोग गरिन्छ। जस्तो go went gone. Gone is the past participle or verb 3. So had plus verb 3. So examples of the structure in the past perfect tense. I had finished my lesson. I had finished my lesson. I subject, had auxiliary verb finished. Finish verb ko past participle finished. I had finished my lesson. She had found a new job. She had found a new job. My brother had gone to Kathmandu. My brother had gone to Kathmandu. You had called me. You had called me. So these are the examples of sentences in the past perfect tense. So the structure is not very difficult. So let's practice the negative. So it's easy. Use not after had. Had सँग not को use गरेर हामी नेगेटिभ बनाउन सक्छौं। For example, I had finished my lesson. Negative. I had not finished my lesson. I had not finished my lesson. She had found a new job. She had not found a new job. Negative. She had not found a new job. My brother had gone to Kathmandu. Negative. Yes. My brother had not gone to Kathmandu. My brother had not gone to Kathmandu. You had called me. Negative. You had not called me. You had not called me. Now, yes no question. So there's the auxiliary verb had. So the yes no question in this tense start with had. Had plus subject. For example, I had finished my lesson. Had you finished your lesson? Had you finished your lesson? She had found a new job. Had she found a new job? Had she found a new job? My brother had gone to Kathmandu. Had your brother gone to Kathmandu? Had my brother gone to Kathmandu? You had called me. Had you called me? Had you called me? And short answer, yes, I had. No, I had not. Yes, you had. No, you had not. Yes, he had. No, he had not. Yes, she had. No, she had not. Very easy. And what about the WH question? For example, I had finished my lesson. What had you finished? What had you finished? What had he done? She had found a new job. Where had she found a new job? Why had she found a new job? When had she found a new job? My brother had gone to Kathmandu. Where had my brother gone? Where had my brother gone? You had called me. Why had you called me? Why had you called me? It's very easy, isn't it? Well, then let's practice some structures. I'll give you subject, verb, and other information. That's number one. Govinda invite all his friends. Govinda invite all his friends. Make positive sentence. Yes. Govinda had invited all his friends. Govinda had invited all his friends. Negative. Govinda had not invited all his friends. Govinda had not invited all his friends. Yes, no question? Had Govinda invited all his friends? Had Govinda invited all his friends? WH question. Why had Govinda invited all his friends? Why had Govinda invited all his friends? Or whom had Govinda invited? Whom had Govinda invited? Yes. Number two, they catch a big fish. They catch a big fish. Yes, they had caught a big fish. They had caught a big fish. Negative. They had not caught a big fish. They had not caught a big fish. Yes, no question. Had they caught a big fish? Had they caught a big fish? WH question. What had they caught? What had they caught? Or where had they caught a big fish? Where had they caught a big fish? Okay, number three. The children clean their classroom. The children clean their classroom. The children had cleaned their classroom. The children had cleaned their classroom. Negative. The children had not cleaned their classroom. Had not cleaned. Yes, no question. Had the children cleaned their classroom? Had the children cleaned their classroom? WH question. Who had cleaned the classroom? Who had cleaned the classroom? Number four. I say goodbye. I say him goodbye. I had said him goodbye. I had said goodbye. I hadn't said goodbye. Had I said goodbye? What had I said? Yes. So these are the examples of the structures used in the past perfect tense. In tomorrow's lesson, we will practice the use of the past perfect tense and we will compare it with the simple past tense. भोलिको कक्षामा हामी सिम्पल पास्ट टेन्स र पास्ट पर्फेक्ट टेन्सको कम्पेरेटिभ स्टडी गर्नेछौँ। आजको लागि हामी बिदा हुँदैछौँ। प्र्याक्टिस गर्न नछोड्नुहोला। अलवेज डु प्र्याक्टिस। Practice makes a man perfect. If you only listen and don't practice, you can't learn anything. Okay? Have a nice day. Goodbye. Thank you for listening my lesson.